Hello and welcome to another edition of After the Whistle. I hope y'all missed us because we are back 2022. We're here. We're here. We made it.
Yeah. We almost didn't make it.
I definitely almost didn't make it. Jeez Louise. But we are back with a jam-packed show for everyone. Oh, man, and we're going to get right into it. The NFL season is coming down. Playoff picture is starting to unfold. Teams clinching, teams positioning themselves. And the Pats, they actually clinched on Sunday, but it was a get-right game because they dropped 2 in a row. And, it was just a get-right game against...
Yeah, but I felt like this get-right game, Jones had to play at a certain level.
Oh, yeah.
For them to go 100% in the red zone, for them to have the balanced offense with 15 passing first downs, 16 running first downs, for them to run 36 times for 181 yards, 5 yards per carry for 4 touchdowns, they rolling to me. Granted, they played the Jags, but for you to play like this, I just feel like they're taking steps in the right direction.
That's why I just call it a get-right game, because these are the type of games, whatever issues you had from the previous 2 losses, you can work on them in this one, because it's almost like a scrimmage, because, man, the Jaguars, they're just not a good football team.
And also, the Pats going 8 for 10, you know what I mean? On third downs, it's just showing they can continue drives, and they're probably working on things, too, against the Jags. So.
They was definitely working on things that they need to work on going into the playoffs, especially scoring in the red zone, because that's been my biggest issue with them all year. Is they've kicked too many field goals when they get in the red zone. But you work on this with them. You make sure you just take care of them, because sometimes in professional sports, when you play an inferior opponent, you kind of don't step on the gas real quick. You kind of cruise and then turn it on. But these guys, they just handle their business. It was really that second quarter that did it, with scoring 21 points in that second quarter. And it's just like, you just look at the Jags, you're just like, yo, you guys got a talented quarterback. You got some talent around, but it's like...
They got some mishaps, too. They got to find a legit coach.
A coach.
You know what I mean? who helped change the culture, GM. So, I would say they're performing better than most expected, since they have more than 1 win, right? They got 2.
They got 2.
Hey, that's more than most people expected Trevor to have this season. Let's be real. Let's be real here. And I know you wasn't rooting for Urban anyway, so.
He's trash. But this is why when you see some quarterbacks that are projected to be first overall, I'm not going there. If I was, Trevor Lawrence, he should have taken the Eli Manning, John Elway route. I ain't going there. Okay.
See, I never even heard about Elway doing it. I seen when Eli did it.
Yeah. Elway was like, y'all draft me, I'm going to play baseball. And he was a heck of a baseball player too, from what I heard. So they actually, unknowingly, they actually have more power than the organizations. The projected first overall pick, if they know they're a surefire first overall pick, they kind of have that, but you don't see most using it like that. But I think quarterbacks more so than anything.
Man, I get it, but end of the day, they're giving you an opportunity, professional athlete. So I'm not big on the picking and choosing, because at the end of the day, you still a beggar at that point in your life. So
I kind of am, just because some teams, some teams that get the number 1 pick, there's a reason they consecutively get it, and it's just like, you're not even looking at it from the team aspect. You're looking at it what are y'all doing upstairs? That's kind of what you look at it. The craziest game not even the game, what happened in the game, Antonio Brown and the Antonio Brown drama that occurred in this game. Second quarter, he just says, all right, I'm out, takes off his jersey. Teammates trying to stop him, but he's like, he's not even trying to hear it, and then he just does that. And my whole thing is, I just don't get how people can defend his actions, because it's just the past 3 years. We've just seen this dude just do some nonsense for the past 3 years. And then for you to do it when the quarterback actually been going to bat for you all these times, even when you're doing these crazy things. All right, if you're upset, we can get it. You get upset. It happens in sports. If you're upset, cool. Just stay there and just don't do nothing. Just sit there. At that point, you got to be a professional.
I'll be honest. I'm not going to speak too much on this because I don't care. He's a grown And people are speaking too much on this man. Like, he decided to walk off the field when somebody goes to bat for you, regardless of what was said to you on the sidelines. I get it. He said he couldn't play, whatever, he was hurt, whatever. But just deal with it or leave. Don't make a spectacle when you leave. Just leave.
And it wasn't even halftime yet. You could have just stayed you could have waited till halftime and just stayed in the locker room too.
Yeah, but what he said was like, if you're not going to play, then get out of here. So when I hear that, it's like, go to the locker room or you're off the team. Yeah. I'm not too sure what Bruce Arians even meant. Yeah. But in the heated moment, the conversation, I don't even think he was positive exactly what he meant at that point in time.
He was just coaching and he's
trying. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I think it was just it just fell apart ridiculously, and it was just too unprofessional for me. That's just what it is.
Way too
and you got kids watching, you're supposed to be a role model to a certain extent. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
It's sports. Heated things happen, but for him to do that, your coaches are telling you to go in. And here's my thing: people saying, like, first, that's one thing I hate about the internet. People just go on and say these dumb conspiracies, like, oh, they wasn't trying to have him hit his bonus. I'm like, yo, this dude missed 3 games. He was in the game for pretty much most of the first half. They threw the ball to him 5 times. He got 3 of them. They were trying to get him those incentives, so I don't get why people think the team will purposely ice him out not to get the incentives.
Me personally, though, I don't, like when Bruce Arians said he just said that to him, I honestly feel like it was more than that.
Yeah, there probably is more to that.
Like, but so, like, my thing, don't just say you said that to him and it might have been more than that. Yeah. Like, let's be honest here, be completely honest. Now, if that's all you said, cool. And if you overreacted, cool. But if you said more than made him overreact like that, let's be honest here. That's all I'm saying. But my thing is, that whole begging and choosing thing. Antonio he's not in the choosing world because people basically like petition to get back in the league. So he's like a beggar. So he kind of had to tiptoe and kind of be an upstanding citizen for at least 2 seasons, especially when the quarterback, Hall of Famer, projected to get another Super Bowl, is vouching for you.
And helped you get a Super Bowl the previous year, and we're 1 game left in the season, and you're having this meltdown. I know a lot of people are bringing up the mental health aspect of it. Maybe there is like something, maybe he's going through something again or something, but you just, at some point when you're at work, and when you're doing a specific job, especially when you're playing sports, I mean, a lot of athletes, they go through things, and again, perfect example, Anthony Simons. His grandfather died the night before. What did he do? He showed up the next day, scored 43 points. Like, things happen in sports, things happen in life, but when you get on the job, you have to be a professional. You just can't show your whole ass off like that.
Now that was wild.
Yeah.
Waving in the end zone and all that. That was super unprofessional.
And here's also the crazy thing. You're talking about you're too hurt to play, but does that look like your ankles messed up or you're too hurt? That's crazy. Right? You're running out there like nothing. And I was doing when I was cutting up the highlights, I'm watching that. He looked fine running routes and stuff like that. So it's just like somebody's gonna. I mean, the full story's gonna come out of what exactly happened.
And if he really felt that way, he could have just, as soon as he came out, told the coaching staff, "Yo, I know I look alright, but I ain't feeling too well." Like, he could have expressed it deeper than that.
Or just go to the trainer, because the trainer will relay the message. Have the trainer look at you. Well, I don't know if any of that happened during the game, which looked like none of it happened.
Remember what I told you before the show started, the conversation I had with a student today? Yeah. Conversation is vital. Yeah. Communication is key. In today's world, they don't want to communicate anymore. Yeah. They're supposed to read minds or something like.
Yeah, and the thing from looking at this whole incident, it looks like he's been enabled too much in his life. Like, people that do stuff like this, and it just looked like it comes off as this, you've been doing this for a while, and you've just been enabled because you're so talented, and people just tolerated it.
I mean, look what happened the past 3 years.
Exactly. So, yeah, so I mean, if I was a teammate, I'd just be like, bro, what do you do? I mean, I can't even look at you in the eye like that. You're just going to walk off in the middle of the game. It's not even halftime yet. You're just going to do all that?
Like, I played growing up, I played with kids, like, you know what I mean, that quit, you know what I mean, during game and stuff, but we were like teenagers. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you're a grown ass man. You're a whole man. And then you're supposed to be a role model. You know kids is watching you. I don't care how you feel about these adults. What about the kids that want to be Antonio Brown? Yeah. That's my thing. Yeah. So it's like.
Yeah, it was, that was just something else. That was just ridiculous.
But hey, I don't wish nothing bad about him. Hopefully he figures it out. You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to be back in the league.
He drops a rap song good right after. Like.
You know, just live your life, brother. You know, get into acting or something. You know,
somebody said he's gonna fight one of the Paul brothers.
I mean, hey, I wouldn't mind seeing the Paul get knocked out.
I can see that happening. All right. In other NFL news, the Green Bay Packers, they clinched the #1 seed in the postseason once again for the playoffs. They'll have the only first round bye. And another one, it was pretty much, they're playing the Vikings. You know how we feel about Kirk Cousins. He's not that good. He wasn't playing.
Yeah.
COVID got to him.
Yeah.
COVID got to a whole bunch of players on the Vikings team, so they were going. There was a lot of backups in there, and the Packers made light work of them. And the Packers right now, they look to be the favorites going into the postseason to go to the Super Bowl. But for me, I don't know how you feel, but this entire NFL season, I have no idea who's actually going to make it to the Super Bowl because everything's been so unpredictable and so weird.
Yeah, and this is like kind of prototypical Packers. They go on this run, reach their stride, they look great going to the playoffs, and then somebody doesn't show up.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan of this man.
Yeah.
So I hope they do well. I hope they keep this momentum going. Yeah. But they played the Vikings, bro.
Yeah, they played
Like, I'll be honest, they look like they was coached by us over the weekend. Man, you throwing the ball 36 times. We don't even know who he is. And then he's the #1 rusher with 2 carries. What you gonna do there?
Yeah. I'm glad you said the quarterback's name because I have no idea who he was. I thought the other quarterback, the rookie quarterback from Texas A&M, that's the one I know, but he was out too because of COVID. So I'm just like, yo.
I don't know if they're taking a page out of the Ravens book or something. Like, everybody want to be Lamar Jackson. Like, there's multiple teams that be having their quarterback be their top runner and thrower. Like, I don't get it.
At least the Ravens are competitive.
Yeah.
Even with the backups.
Yeah, even with the backup, they're competitive.
But these dudes, the Vikings, it looks like they're gonna have to clean house. The coach is probably gonna be gone because of that. And he's a pretty good coach, but looks like the Vikings are gonna clean house after this season because they've had the talent to make playoff runs, but it's just always the end of the season something doesn't go well, and we got to look at the quarterback. But yeah, with the Packers, also with the unpredictableness of the season, Aaron Rodgers and his whole situation, you don't know if he'll miss a playoff game because of all that. So that's another aspect of the postseason that we're just all gonna be like, all right, what if one of these top quarterbacks has to go into health and safety protocols and they don't get 2 negatives tests in a row before a game? So it's just like, ooh, them backup quarterbacks better be ready because they might get called upon.
Yeah, man.
I think a team that needs. So here's a fun fact. Kyler Murray has never lost in.
He's like 8-0, ain't he?
9-0 after Sunday. High school, college, and in the pros. And the Cowboys, we was talking about it early in the season because everybody was so high on them the first 7 weeks of the season when they were scoring all them points and the defense was making plays. We just wait till the end because it's all going to balance out. And they just haven't looked the same ever since. Dak got injured, had multiple people get injured, and everybody comes back. They just don't look like. They don't look like a team you'll fear in the postseason.
What's up with Zeke?
Looks done.
Because that's the problem. They had a 3-headed monster, and Zeke is like Zeke every other season, and he hasn't been himself this year. And I don't know what's up with Cooper, and Dak is up and down. So
even the backup running back too, he usually is productive too, and it's just like their offense. Either teams have figured them out, or they just.
Falling apart.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I don't know what's in the water out there in Dallas. I'll be honest. I don't know what's going on with some of these teams because they're starting, the momentum, they're starting off well, and then it's like a drastic Superman drop.
Yeah. That's how NFL is. When you see a team when you see teams start off so well. I mean, the Cardinals are a perfect example. These guys started off 10-2 or something like that, and they lost. They lost so many games in a row. They needed this one for them to clinch the playoff, and they just needed it for their self-confidence because they were dropping so many games.
But one thing about the Cowboys, for one, if you can't, I want to say, continue possessions, you're only going 3-11 on third downs. You're not going to really win much of anything. Then your penalties, you got 10 penalties for 88 yards. You're not even giving yourself a fighting chance.
You can't continue drives. Your defense isn't forcing turnovers or or scoring points from turnovers. Your offense is all over the place. You just lost one of your playmaking receivers, Michael Gallup, to a torn ACL.
Oh, yeah, him too.
CeeDee Lamb, well, we don't even, like you said with the receivers, we don't even know what they were doing on Sunday. So it's just like a team that's trending in the opposite direction. And if you look, the Eagles, even though Dallas already won the division, the Eagles are a team in that division like trending this way. Imagine if they would meet in the playoffs. Right?
It'll be an interesting game.
It definitely be an interesting game just because the Eagles, they've been playing so well offensively and defensively. And it's like the Cowboys, like these playoff matchups are going to be very interesting.
I mean, I'm glad the Eagles must have heard us. Help that boy out.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And their defense been playing a whole lot better.
I mean, you got to help that boy out.
Yeah. All right. Probably the game of the weekend was not a game. This guy, Jamar Chase, he decided to go full Randy Moss on the Chiefs on Sunday. Man, they could not guard him for nothing. He was just doing whatever he wanted on that field, and it was just it was bad.
Man, forget not guarding him. Burrow was the best player on the planet over the weekend.
Yo.
That man, view to go 30, 39, 11.4 yards a carry. Everything he threw was a first down. Yeah. I'm sorry, the Chiefs, this wasn't the game for them. And I'll be honest, the Chiefs are going to shoot themselves in the foot if they continue to refrain from using the run the way they should use it. You ran 23 times, but you're getting 6.7 yards a carry. You probably want to up that 30 to 35.
And you know what the crazy thing is? The Chiefs had the lead in this fourth quarter, too. They had the lead, and then it was a tied game, and all they needed to do was get a stop. They couldn't get the stop because there was like 4 minutes left when the Bengals had the ball. And the Bengals were trying to trick this game away because you're down there, you're going for it on 4th and goal with like under a minute left. You went for it once, there was a penalty, went for it again, there was another penalty, and at some point you're just like, all right, you're trying to be a little too cute right now, and you almost got your quarterback hurt because he did get hurt, but it's not serious. But all that messing around and stuff, I get it. Mahomes is on the other side, but some point you got to take those points.
And as a team, though, the Chiefs definitely had a couple hiccups. My thing is you get shut out in the third quarter, which is rare.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, that's usually their quarter to be most productive in their penalties, having 10 for 83 yards. When you're playing a guy like Burrow who's playing like that, you can't have those.
Yeah, you definitely can. And so it was definitely a wild game. I mean, they had 3 second half points to add on to that. So they were very uncharacteristic of themselves in the second half, and they're a really good second half team. So, but just give the Bengals all the credit in the world.
Give them that.
Yeah, especially the franchise. They clinched the division. They're going to be back in the playoffs for the first time in 7 years. So this is big. And they have probably most explosive offense right now.
A couple years ago, we was talking about a guy named Burrow who's going to be nasty.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I think their offense, so I read this, their offense, they have a 1,000-yard rusher, 2,000-yard receivers, and I think Burrow has thrown close to 5,000 yards or 4,000. But
he's nasty.
4,000, he's like 400, he's like 300 some odd yards away from 5,000. But yeah, so you got a 4,000-yard quarterback, a 1,000-yard rusher, and 2,000-yard receivers. That's going to be hard to stop in the playoffs, especially if they get a home game. So congratulations to the Bengals. I know I got some family that are from there. I get on them all the time about the Bengals, about rooting for them. But I guess this is their year to glow. All right, last NFL news. So the Raiders are in a do-or-die game this upcoming Sunday. If they win, they're in the playoffs. This is, he won't be in the discussion, but people should really put Derek Carr in the MVP discussion for just what he went through this season and how he legit kept this team afloat. And he's made so many big plays, so many game-winning drives. And I feel like he's one of them quarterbacks that doesn't get the appreciation that he should get. Because every time people talk about the Raiders, they always talk about upgrading the quarterback. But yeah, each year he just plays better and better and better. And I think people really need to give this guy his respect, especially after this season in general, no matter what happens.
I think it's just because he's a Carr. That's really is. They still giving him about a hard time about his brother, which was legit. You know what I mean? But he just couldn't be a starter. But I don't know. Nah, Derek though, I don't understand what's up with the disrespect for Derek Carr. Maybe because he's not like a top 3 quarterback that's putting up crazy numbers, but he's a winner. He's consistent. He's professional.
Yeah.
And you got guys like, I don't want to say particular names, but guys like Matt Ryan, who's been in the league for 20 years. You know what I mean? So it's like, why are you giving a guy who's showing that he's a continuous professional who's helping his team improve every year?
I'll one-up you. A guy like Baker Mayfield, who people swore he was going to be the next great quarterback in the league, and people got all these excuses for why he's still throwing interceptions, even with Odell not there anymore. But he gets all these excuses, and you put Derek Carr on that Cleveland roster.
Oh, I'm rooting for Cleveland.
Those guys are probably winning 13 games.
And Odell's probably still there.
Yeah.
Ain't no probably. He would be still there.
He'd still be there because, I mean,
Kano.
Yeah, for some reason he went to Los Angeles and he's catching touchdowns. And imagine you are a talented receiver and a quarterback can somehow find a way to get you the ball. But we're not gonna pile on Baker, but people have been piling on him for the past month or so. But I just more so want to talk about the Raiders and how their season has gone and how those guys, one thing with them, they played hard every single game since what happened with John Gruden. It's a
yeah,
good
man.
thing to see.
Somebody popped Grady's shoulder back in.
and also, it's kind of fitting for them to be this way after John Madden passing away too, because
that might have been the extra momentum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna lie, even I was kind of like, when I heard John Madden pass, I was like, oh, for real? Like, me, that stuff don't matter to me because people die every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for him to be the only Super Bowl winning coach there, you know what I mean? I could have swore they had more Super Bowls.
No, they had another one in the 80s.
All right, well,
I don't know who was coaching.
The one that mattered the most was John Madden.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I don't know who was coaching in the 80s.
And like I said, like John Madden affected at least almost every boy that was born.
Yeah. In the 80s,
70s, 90s, early 2000s. You know what I mean? My Uncle Craig used to do Madden tournaments out the state, so like I totally understand, man. And kudos to the Madden family, man. Condolences to.
Yeah, John Madden. Anthony Edwards said he had to whoop somebody by 40. When he heard John Madden passed away, pay his respects. That dude is hilarious. But yeah, so the Raiders and Colts, big games this Sunday. So I think this game was wild. This was another wild game.
Granted, Wentz had an opportunity with the Colts. He had a couple mishaps, a couple passes, one with T.Y. T.Y. laughed it off, but I wouldn't have been that happy about that. But my thing is, what's up with Taylor? They gotta get him the ball more.
Oh, they were trying to get him the ball. Raiders was just. The Raiders' game plan was Taylor's not about to beat us because he broke one off. He broke one off early on, and then after that, they was just like, nah, he's not.
I seen the 4.7 yards of carry, and I'm like, 26. They could have did 35, maybe.
No, it wasn't. The Raiders was like, nah, he's not beating us. That was pretty much the Raiders' game plan. They wasn't letting him beat them, and then the Colts definitely had a chance. That was a big miscue right there, especially T.Y. cutting that route off because they could have continued that drive, and these guys just took the ball down the field. This was one of those games like that was a good football game, but
Raiders made more plays.
Yeah, somebody had to make the play to win it. So and now both teams are in a do or die situation on Saturday or Saturday and Sunday, one of the two. But yeah. All right, and I think that's about it for the NFL. Yeah, that's about it. We gonna go to No Huddle. And then we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little NBA and college basketball. Not college basketball, college football, because we got national titles coming up soon, and it's the Alabama Invitational.
Or SEC.
Yeah.
What up, everybody? Welcome once again to No Huddle. We're back. And this week we're going to talk about the playoffs. It's on and popping. One more week left of the regular season, the extended week of the regular season, giving some teams an opportunity to clinch those final playoff spots. Before we jump in the playoffs, let's talk a little bit about Antonio Brown in the middle of a game, taking off his jersey, throwing his shirt and his gloves into the stands, doing a few jumping jacks in the end zone, and heading off the field. According to Bruce Arians, he is no longer a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, which technically is not true. They have not waived him He has not actually been physically released from Tampa Bay. So if another team wants them, they would have to trade for him. But at this point, you got to assume, no matter how good he is, which this year, barring the injuries, he was very good. I can't imagine many teams wanting to take a risk on giving him a contract. But then again, a $1 million 1-year deal on a team that's in desperate need of a wide receiver, maybe you could see him get signed to a team. But I find that to be highly unlikely. Way too much controversy behind his name. The only reason why he was even on Tampa Bay was because of Tom Brady. Tom Brady himself came out saying that everybody needs to get together and give him the help that he needs because he clearly needs some help. A lot of rumors being speculated that Antonio Brown was mad that he wasn't going to get his touches to receive his, one more touchdown, $300,000 bonus, 7 or 8 more receptions, $300,000 bonus, X amount of yards. I think it was something like 59 yards, get him another $300,000 bonus. But the reality of it is that he didn't want to go back on the field due to soreness in his ankle, and that led to Bruce Arians feeling however he felt, saying whatever he said, and Antonio Brown calling it quits. So we'll see what happens in the future, but this might be the last you've seen of Antonio Brown in the NFL. But we'll see what happens in the 2022 season. On to the playoffs. 2 teams have clinched their first round byes, and that would be the Green Bay Packers and surprisingly the Tennessee Titans. I feel like a lot of people didn't have a whole lot of faith in the Tennessee Titans this year, and for them to clinch the playoff spot without Derrick Henry, seeing as how they might get Derrick Henry back for the playoffs, saying he might even be able to play this week, makes the Tennessee Titans a lot more dangerous than they were clinching the number one seed. So how much more dangerous will they be now? Other teams making the playoffs: Kansas City number 2, Buffalo number 3, Cincinnati number 4, and the Patriots clinching the only wild card team clinching a playoff spot, the New England Patriots. In the NFC, Tampa Bay, the Rams, and Dallas, with Philly and Arizona clinching 2 spots. A lot of teams in the hunt for a playoff spot. So we'll see how that goes. I've always been not so much of a fan of the way that the NFL does their playoff scheme. The top team in each division gets a slot, and then after that, the top records in the league get a spot. But in my personal opinion, I believe it should be kind of how they do in the NHL, where, if you're going to put 12, 14 teams into the playoffs, I believe it should be the top 10, 12, 14 teams in the playoffs. I don't think that being the number 1 team in a division or, the next best team should earn you a playoff spot. I think that it should be the top teams. But this year we do have some good teams in the playoffs. I think the teams that have made it are worthy of a playoff spot. The Chargers looking like they might clinch a spot. Oakland looking like they might be able to clinch a playoff spot. You got a few other teams that have some potential. I believe that the Vikings have been eliminated. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but I'm excited for this year's playoffs. I think it's going to be a slobber knocker. I feel like Cincinnati's going to surprise a lot of people. I really like them. I think New England is going to be extremely dangerous come playoff time, but we'll see what happens. My prediction is going to be Cincinnati, Green Bay Packers. Back to after the whistle.
All right, and we are back quickly on some NBA news. So did you see this story? What happened in Houston? Another unprofessional behavior. Kevin Porter Jr. and Christian Wood, they got called out by the coach, John Lucas. I don't know if this is John Lucas, the son, or if it's John Lucas, the OG.
Well,
John
they in Houston,
Lucas.
so it's probably both of them, because that's what, I mean, John Lucas lives out there in Texas.
Yeah, he has his training facility
all that,
and program out there.
I knew a couple guys that trained with John Lucas, and I was out there.
Yeah, so they got called out for lack of effort and all that. Kevin Porter throws a chair, and then he leaves at halftime. He just leaves the arena. Christian Wood refuses to go into the game, and situations like this, especially for Kevin Porter Jr., is like, it kind of, granted, you're young and talented, he's only 21, but you're kind of pushing it on kind of being out the league, because what happened in Cleveland and now this, and this is also what we was just talking about being enabled. Behaviors like that, it kind of shows me that you kind of been enabled too long because of the talent. And
yeah,
you just can't do that.
My whole thing is you get called out for not performing. That's all it was. So you have to have accountability. Look in the mirror. You're a professional athlete. You're a grown man. Like, and then you sitting down, like, and people were vouching for Wood. So I don't understand why.
But he would refuse to go
like
back.
The ego, like, you know, it is like, you know, I tell you, I work at the school system for a good amount of time now. I'll never act like those people that have been somewhere for 1 year and act like they have seniority.
Yeah.
No matter how long I've been somewhere, I don't even know how to act like that. You know what I mean? So it's all about respecting yourself in the game and your team.
Yeah, especially your teammates too, because I mean, if they're out there putting their all in, and you guys aren't, I mean, and somebody has to call them out. Granted, to put the players in it, but the coach does. The coach sees it. What are you mad about? That's what you would want from a coach. All coaches ask for is effort. Show some effort. That's like one thing from covering all these games. That's one thing coaches always express is effort, because that's something you can't coach.
Nah, you can't.
You can't coach that. And you know, and this is a league that so many guys. We've seen all these folks getting these 10-day contracts that want to take that position that you're in, and you're just acting like it's going to be there for you all the time.
But we also live in a world now where they think it's okay to, I want to say, villainize people that challenge you or want better from you.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, he expects more out of me than I do myself. Let me pout about it. That's the world we live in nowadays. I don't even talk to people like that.
Yeah, and a lot of these coaches, they come from old school style, for, you know, because a lot of them played. So, you know, it come from the coaches that they played for. They're hard on you because they want to get the best out of you.
You know what I told DeAndre? I said, yo, there's two things. You can't fake being tough or strong anywhere. That's athletics in the weight room. You can't hide it, bro. There's no escaping that. So you either gonna be a man or woman on the court or field, or you ain't. Yeah. But there's no getting around it. There's no gray area of being a great athlete. Like,
yeah, and everybody needs coaching. Especially everybody needs coaching, and clearly these guys, they need coaching. Not only on the court, but also off the court.
What I meant to say was the only place you can really like be yourself, be a bully, is in athletics and in the weight room. Because now you could be like, you could just be.
I know what you meant.
Yeah, I had to make sure other people knew what I meant.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't get these folks. Now I'll say it again. Everybody has had moments at their place of employment that they just, you know, wanted to lash out and have a fit. But sometimes you gotta take a back seat and just. There's other ways to do it too. There's other ways to do it without causing a scene and, you know, throwing a chair. Like, come on.
And you don't never want to have your actions affect your pockets.
That too. I think Gilly said it. Be careful who you offend on the way up, because I mean, coaches talks, GMs talk. So, you know, when it comes to like trades, or you're a free agent and, you know, they'll make some calls like, what do you think about this? Should we sign? And they might not vouch for you.
Even though it shouldn't be like that, if you can produce, it shouldn't matter how they feel about you personally, because if you ain't cussing nobody out on the court, it shouldn't matter. Like, but it's the world we live in, man.
That's just life.
Yeah.
That's just life. All right, national title game, Alabama and Georgia. And I have no idea why people talked themselves into thinking Cincinnati was going to beat Georgia. There were people actually talking about Cincinnati may have the upset, or the game might be close. The game was only close because Alabama let it be close.
Yeah, because I'm like,
If you just, the thing Alabama didn't do, they just didn't continue to run the ball. Because their first drive, they ran the ball, I think, 10 times and only passed it once, and they legit just marched down the field. And I don't know what the head coach, the offensive coordinator was doing, but he stopped doing that. And they wanted to pass the ball more, but every time they ran the ball, I think the running back had like 300 yards or close to it or something like that.
They just wanted to work on stuff. because they knew they was able to.
Yeah.
Like when I looked at Alabama versus Cincinnati, I just looked at like me versus Tory, the wrestling match. Like we had two different physical size people. You know what I mean? I didn't really see Cincinnati doing much anyway.
Me either. I didn't see it.
And no matter how close they would have made the game, I still didn't see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't see it.
Man, I was just saying how big of a blowout this is, but it was close for a little while, but yeah, that, you know.
What about the best game of the weekend?
Robinson Jr., 204 yards rushing, and they had 301 yards as a whole team. And then Michigan and Georgia. Ooh, I thought that was going to be somewhat of a game, but man, oh man, oh man, it just showed, like.
I'm not going to lie to you, bro. When we was out, I took a sip and I looked up, game was over. Game was over like at halftime. Like, oh, what happened?
The only reason I thought Michigan would be in this game is because of Georgia's quarterback. Georgia doesn't have that great of a quarterback, but Georgia's defense was, it just looked, it didn't look like a fair fight. It looked like you see where the team has numerous 5 stars on each level, and a team that got 5 stars but not on each level. They got one here, one there. Georgia has them every single way, offense and defense. There's 5 stars everywhere, and that's a different type of beast when you're just it was bad. It was bad. So Georgia and Alabama will be playing for the second time this year. I think this is also the second time in 3 years that they'll be playing for the national title game. Maybe this game will be different from the SEC championship game a couple weeks ago. We don't know because both of these teams are actually evenly matched. And they got stars, they got playmakers everywhere, but we don't know. But if you're betting house money on it, I wouldn't bet against Nick Saban because it's just been proven that you just don't bet against him, especially when he's going up against former assistants.
Yeah, what he said.
Oh, man. All right. Let's go to Athletes Corner, and this one we have running for a cause. So we got Solice, Leny, and Roberto. You know, they've been doing the running thing for a while. They've been running with for charity, raising money. I know they're doing something in the spring for Doug Mullins. Dougie, the former baseball coach, Lynn English baseball coach.
Oh, okay. I know which Doug was talking about.
Yeah.
He's talking about Gillette.
No. Yeah, so they're doing some type of race for him.
Okay.
They did like a little half type of thing where they ran from Manning to Wyoming back to Manning, but they're gonna do something bigger for that, like a track. So check that out, and we're gonna come back, and then we got some highlights, and I'm hungry, but. Yeah, check these out. Hello and welcome to another edition of Athletes Corner. And today we got 3 guests here with us. We got Leny, Roberto, and Solice. My guys are here.
Sir.
Here to talk about a good cause too. They're running for a good cause. They've been running. And we got the little one too. Forgot to mention the little one. he upset. All right, Solice, man, what's going on? You guys been doing this running for a cause for a while, you know, doing half marathons, just weekly running. Just talk to me how you guys got started.
Basically, over quarantine, everything got shut down. Domino effect from one guy to another. Obviously easier said than done. But once obviously the gyms got closed down, we had nowhere to exercise. It was just, get the mind right, try to, keep the body as right as possible. Obviously not knowing what was going on. And then it just started trickling down to, getting people in and just finding a cause at the end of the day. Causes came along and, like, what are we doing this for? Let's, let's take it to the next level. Let's, do stuff like that, so.
Yeah, were you guys running like this beforehand or consistently, or was it here and there before quarantine, I should say?
I think most of us, I think probably Harold, one of the guys in the group, who he actually got, Manny, and then Manny got me, and then trickle down effect. I think Harold was running for a little while before like the quarantine. Mainly me, I'm like getting my exercise with ball. I was playing in like, a few different basketball leagues. I would like run here and there, but it wasn't like how I'm doing now, or like I had no idea running was even like this, you know what I'm saying, the way, what it gives me and stuff like that. So I would say just basically started taking it more serious once, quarantine started.
All right. Burton, how did you hop on this?
So yeah, like Solice said, it was a domino effect, and in the sense of like it got passed down. So it did evolve over the quarantine. And like Solice said, I was never too fond of running. I never knew, it was, therapeutic.
Yeah.
I never knew how powerful it really was. So when I first got invited to run, I was like, for what? Because I didn't understand, right? So like most of us, it started off like that. Leny can probably tell you the same. So along with running for cause, everything intertwines. So it's like, health is involved. And so like when the quarantine was here, we had to figure out a way to stay active. And so I finally ended up accepting, the invite to run after not really like knowing why run, so then I found out that, it was for a purpose, for a cause, and it just became a bigger thing, and now we're a team, and it's trickling down, so that's how it started.
Playing basketball, I used to like run the distance. It's like
so that's why
it's quick spurts.
That's why it's kind of like it's kind of inevitable we're in this realm, but I never knew we would be in this realm because of basketball. For me, for instance, so and him too, so like we grew up playing sports already. So when I got introduced into running, I was like, for what? I already run. I already exercise. I already play basketball. But then when you see the cause and the purpose behind it and the meaning behind the story, it's much bigger than, just that. So it's much bigger. It's spiritual. It's mind, body, and spirit.
Definitely. For you, like, I assume it's easy. It was an easy thing for you to get into because you're already in the fitness world already, expanding that and the nutrition and stuff like that. It was just something to add on to what you were already doing.
You would be surprised. And they laugh because I tell them all the time my story with running, bro. I hate running. I hated it. I'm not going to say I hate because I don't anymore. I hated it. I would literally, when I used to work in Boston, drive into Boston every morning and see people running the Charles River and literally tell my partner at the time, like, yo, why? Who does that? Who goes outside and literally just goes outside to run, right? Like that was my mentality with it, right? And again, they play basketball, right? I never really was into sports. I played football freshman year for a little bit. Wasn't my thing.
Skateboarding.
I was into more extreme stuff, BMX riding. I rode my bike from Lynn to Boston, right? So I was always into cardio. In essence, but I never ever ran, like I said. So for me, I'm relatively new. I'm the newest runner probably to the group. I just started running in June, and it's just something that I told myself, what do I hate to do, and do it. Get uncomfortable, and if I can do that, then anything else in this world, when I'm uncomfortable, I'll just go back and use that as an example.
Definitely. Well, can you guys just talk about what are some of the causes that you guys have ran for? Because I know a lot of run groups, they run for, it'd be cancer or it'd be just some type of fund for something. What are some of the causes that you guys have ran for and like that you guys plan on running for in the future too?
So I would say, the very first cause was for Doug Mullins, who he was diagnosed with bone cancer at that time. He was still with us, and so that's at the point when we got serious about finding causes, that was like the perfect time, or that was almost like our entrance into, okay, this is what we're gonna do for people. You know what I mean? And so we reached out to him, and like, I don't know, like once we started doing that, it was different, bro. It was like just brought this whole new passion and things like that. So. After we did it for him, we figured out a way just to try and do it like every month, a new cause every month. So that's what, ultimately we're doing now is every month is a different awareness, and we're bringing awareness to that. We come up as a team, we come up with the awareness because there's a few different awarenesses every month. Some of them aren't national, so obviously we look for a national awareness where it's everybody all over the world. And then, at least we try to run at least 100 miles, and that starts over literally every month.
Was that the Dougie one? Was that the one you guys did earlier in the summer when you guys ran from Manning Field all the way?
Oh yeah. So ultimately, our main goal is to create our own race for Dougie. So we did a cornhole tournament this year, which it was a fundraiser to raise money for our ultimate goal, which is the 5K annual race for Dougie. So that's what we're doing. We were basically just like figuring out the track, trying to prepare that for next year.
Okay. And for you two, what are some causes that you guys would hope to, to look into running for as you guys are getting more and more involved in this? Any that could come off the top of your head?
So for me, I feel like I bring the spiritual aspect. So like again, it intertwines, right? So there's the mind, the body, and the spirit. So for me, my awareness, I bring, God the Father, the creator of the universe. So I'm not ashamed to speak about the gospel. So I'm willing to share it. So I say all that to say that then, there is the wellness, the health aspect, so on and so forth. But that's the awareness that I try to bring outside of the actual awareness, which is, like a bone cancer or like this month we have AIDS awareness. So outside of that type of awareness, which is very profound, which is what is the root of the running, me, I feel like I bring forth the spiritual aspect.
Yeah. Have you guys noticed that more people are more intrigued, reaching out to you all about getting involved, seeing what you guys been doing since the summer, since quarantine? Have you guys had more people reach out to y'all?
Again, I'm relatively new to the scene that we have in the movement. But like for me, my awareness is just being in the fitness industry, is just getting people moving and getting them active and just making sure that they're aware just by moving your body, right? It's a blessing for you. But as far as new people, I mean, I know we just seen somebody yesterday that seen us race on Thanksgiving and joined the group and posted a nice big, message last night, of how he just seen us, felt the vibe, right? Seen how we were all united and like really were just one. And started looking us up on Facebook, found the group and joined, and now he's just like super excited to be, part of the team. So for that's really all it is for us, is the camaraderie, right? And again, united, right? We're stronger together.
Yeah. And also, we're all minorities, and we don't understand the health that comes with being minority, especially with cardiovascular. And do you guys see that more people are taking that seriously with doing this, because running helps your cardiovascular, helps with a lot of things, and that's a problem in the community. Do you guys see that you guys are going to be able to help more people, take care of their health in that aspect, because a lot don't, for reasons.
The heart, right? Everybody works out every other body part, right? You'll hear somebody say leg day, right? Chest day, chest pump, shoulder pump. But what running does, it works out your heart, right? It works out your heart, it makes your heart stronger, it pumps more blood through it, it pumps more, right? So it's super, like for us, it's super important for us to get people to realize, like you said, that running is much more than, for me, I go out and I say every time, I get to do this. Yeah. I don't have to do this, right? Because when you go with that mentality, it's like, it's more beneficial for the body, for the mind, and for the spirit, right?
Big time. We definitely had a few people join. Obviously, like every race or whatever, they just come together because they see how I think like tight we are, you know what I mean, and things like that. And I don't know, we're just hoping to honestly keep growing, bro. Showing people the difference.
And going back to the name, what makes the name so unique, like he just stated too, is it's united. So we're running united nationwide. So like the united is so profound and all of it all, it's just like, it's really bringing everything together. So it's like, it's amazing. It's an amazing thing.
Definitely. All right, before we get out of here, please let them know if they want to know more about the United Running. Please let them know social media page and all that good stuff, where to go to find out more information.
Running United Nationwide, Facebook, Instagram. We're really easy to find, honestly. That's really it.
All right. Make sure y'all check them out. They got a race Sunday.
Salem.
Salem
for autism.
Yes, autism awareness.
But by the time this comes out, they'll probably already race. So make sure you follow their Instagram page. You guys be watching Athletes Corner. We are out of here. Have a good one. Yes, sir. All right, and we are back. Okay, time for a little post-game interview. First up, Boston College coach Earl Grant. Whew. Yeah, just watch this. I don't even want to talk about this game. I had to watch this with my own eyes. It was bad. Check this out.
Was that first half just a combination of having so many days off, having some rust, and their defense as well? Because there was a lot of easy shots.
It's really typically you don't really know. I mean, you would want to say maybe that had something to do with it. You don't know. Without the layoff, you still had a good opponent coming in that you had to really play well in order to beat them. So again, I'm sure that has something to do with it. You don't know how much it had to do with it. Guys did look a little winded early. But that's what we're going through in all college basketball. Teams are pausing and teams are not practicing. And the ACC got a policy: if you got 7 guys, you got to play. And so that's kind of the rule we adopted. And so that's where we are. But the good thing is everybody had the virus. All coaches, all players except one. So hopefully that means that we'll have a couple consecutive months where we don't have to have a pause.
All right, and we are back. Next up is St. Mary's head coach Dave Brown. Spartans beat Cathedral last night in a conference game. They're 7-1 now in the season, so check this one out, and then we got another one.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right, coach. Another game, second game in 3 days. You guys able to keep the momentum going, and you guys made some big moves down the stretch where they trying to make everyone run.
Yeah, we knew this was going to be a tough ball game. That's a very talented basketball team with a lot of length. We knew that 1-2-2 was going to cause us some trouble, which it did. Forced a lot of turnovers with their deflections, but our guys buckled down, knocked down some shots, took care of the ball when we had to. But on the defensive end, where it was at, and Army Merriman had an outstanding game, knocking down shots and rebounding the hell out of the ball.
You just talked about it, their size. They had the size advantage, but you guys got a lot of offensive rebounds early on, and you guys got a lot of second chance.
Yeah, we talk about, after a shot goes up, to crash the glass, try to get some loose ball rebounds, get these guys to play fast, and that's our main thing. We're trying to play fast. David's a pretty good rebounder. Ali's a pretty good rebounder from the guard spot, so we know our guards can rebound. But Army did a tremendous job today, especially knocking down shots to open up their zone pressure they had on us.
And you guys have had a couple good stretches. You guys played a few games. Had a game Sunday, today. Now you guys got a little break before a big game.
Yeah, we had a big game on Friday. Bishop Fenwick's right now ranked number 1 in Division III, based on the power seedings. They're undefeated in the league. We're undefeated in the league. So one of our goals at the start of the season is winning the CCL championship. So it's gonna be a big game on Friday night. I hope we get a big crowd to come out.
All right, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
All right, and we are back. And lastly, we have Army Merriman. Spoke with him after the game yesterday. Posted 14 points, 8 rebounds. The Spartans winning. They got a big one Friday.
That's what's up, man.
They got a big one Friday against Fenwick.
Where?
At St. Mary's. 6:30. Both of them are undefeated in the conference, so I think
I might try to check it out. Army's my guy. He's like family, so definitely gotta support him.
Yeah, definitely. That was gonna be a big one because Bishop got that one kid. Every time I've watched him play, it's gonna be a nice matchup between the guards. His name's Mike and Mikey. I saw him put 43 in some league. I was like, oh.
Okay. He might be the next Casey Arena.
He's actually committed to Wentworth.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
All right, that's dope.
That's cool.
That's
so
dope.
It's gonna be a fun game to watch, especially if it was like the football game they played over the season.
Yeah, I might go check it out on Friday, man.
Yeah, check this one out with Army, and then we'll come back.
All right, Army, you guys are 8-1 on the season. You guys been playing really well. Yeah. Big win on the road on Sunday, big win today. Just talk about the play you guys been doing the past couple of days.
Excuse me?
Talk about the way you guys been playing the past couple of days.
Oh, we've been playing fast, really high octane. We're trying to get it going, trying to get a lot of movement, passing the ball a lot, trying to play with a lot of energy, get it going.
Talk about you guys were able to get a whole lot of offensive rebounds. They got the size advantage on you guys, but you guys were able to just get a bunch of offensive rebounds, second chance points. What was it?
We're dogs, so we have a lot of energy. We're boxing out, getting good rebounds, position ourselves right.
And for yourself, you got a good shot. You got a good amount of shots were going in for you. What were we seeing out there for the shots that you got?
Shots, I work on it a lot. Put a lot of effort in. I mean, started off slow, picked up in the second half, got it going.
All right, man. Big one Friday against Bishop Fenwick.
Sure, at home.
Talk a little about that coming up.
Fenwick's our rival. Got to beat them. Important game. Fun game, actually. Can't let them beat us, though.
And we are back. Yeah, I think the dude from Ohio State had like 300-something yards receiving. Well, shoot.
Yeah. No, he did. He was busting.
Well, shoot.
Smith something.
The other two receivers opted out, so all the targets was going to go to him.
And then Marvin Harrison Jr. son had a touchdown. He gonna be nice too. Man, all they running back. I can't even talk to you. All their wide receivers are nice.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
He looks just like his daddy too, just darker.
Yeah, hopefully he don't.
He ain't about that life. That's why he over there at Ohio State.
I don't want his daddy coming after me. Check this out. Wolverine tournament highlights from last week over the holiday breaks. Check those out. We're gonna come back in top 10 plays and all that stuff. All right, and we are back. Okay, first up, let's go NBA top 10 plays. I don't even know what week the NBA's in because I lost track, but top 10 plays for the NBA. 10 plays from the NFL Week 17. Yo. And we are back. Yo. Hope y'all like my X-Men shirt. Oh, man. Had to throw this the old school X-Men, not the
That's the same color
animated series. Right?
Same color as Jubilee jacket.
Yeah. Her useless self. Fireworks launching self. All right, we are final week of the NFL season, week number 18. All right, we're gonna get things going. So the Saturday football, Saturday afternoon and Saturday night football. First up is Kansas City at Denver.
Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City, because I think they still have to win to secure the number 1 seed. So
Okay.
yeah, they got to win. Dallas, I'm going with KC as well. Dallas at Philly.
I'm going with Philly, man.
Me too. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you. Cincy at Cleveland.
Cincinnati.
Bengals. Cleveland's cleaning house. Even though I don't know if they're going to rest their starters, but
Better clean their draws, too.
yeah,
Skid
Cleveland's about
marks.
to clean house. Green Bay at Detroit.
Oh, Green Bay.
I'm going with Detroit because I think Green Bay just not going to play their starters because they've already clinched the number 1. Yeah, you're right. Even the backups probably going to do work. I'm going with the Packers. Never mind. Well, forget what I just said. Chicago at Minnesota.
Chicago.
I agree with you on that one. Washington at New York.
Which New York?
Giants.
Washington.
Yeah, I'll go with the football team. Colts, Jaguars at Jags.
Colts.
Pittsburgh at Baltimore. I don't know who's going to be quarterback for the Ravens.
I'm going to pick the Ravens anyways.
Me too, just because I can't pick the Steelers.
Yeah.
It's Big Ben's last game as a NFL player anyways.
Ravens, definitely.
Yeah, forget Big Ben. Tennessee at Houston.
Tennessee.
Titans. New Orleans at Atlanta.
New Orleans.
I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to say the Falcons.
Henry might be back, I heard.
He's back at practice. I don't know if he's going to play, but he's practicing this week. He's practicing this week. Jets, Bills.
Jets.
Bills. 49ers, Rams.
Rams.
49ers. New England and Miami. It's in Miami.
Bro, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's in Miami.
We don't even.
Yeah, we don't. But I'm just. If the Pats lose,
Oh, okay.
I'm giving you the reasons why.
I'm like, what?
Seattle at Arizona.
Arizona.
Cardinals. Carolina at Tampa.
Tampa.
I'm going with the Bucks as well. And the Chargers and the Raiders. Raiders win. They are in the postseason.
I'm going with the Raiders, baby.
We going with the silver and black for that.
I'm going with the Raiders, man.
Yeah, and on that note, thank
silver and
y'all.
black. Gray, black, silver,
Right on
black.
cue. All right, that's a wrap for us. I don't know whose birthdays it is up and stuff like that. I don't know.
Hood's coming up in a couple weeks, but I'll probably say that next week too.
Yeah.
Oh, my aunt's coming up on the 11th.
Yeah.
So probably next week.
No, happy birthday to his aunt.
HB.
Yeah, and peace. We ain't got much to say. We out of here. 2022.